Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How is everybody doing today? It is a little bit warmer here. It's still below freezing, but at least it's not in the negatives. How is it by you? Let me know in the comments. If you're here, please say hello. And if you are watching the replay, say #replay so I know that you are watching. I am going to take a moment to share this to the group. Hi, Julie. Okay, I shared that to the group. What's it like weather-wise by you? I think it was 13 degrees. Now it's really warmed up. What has everybody been doing this weekend? Anything fun? I had a fun weekend. Oh, you got snow? Today you got snow? We didn't get any snow today. We got some snow yesterday. Okay, I tagged everybody. So I think we are good to go. So you moved on from Christmas to Valentine's Day. Perfect. Hi, Mom. Yes, we have de-Christmased our house. The only thing I haven't done yet is I have to turn my rug in my living room 90 degrees so that it doesn't interfere with the tree. And I haven't turned that back yet. But that's minor because there's no Christmas stuff out. I sent my application in for the Daughters of the American Revolution. We finally got a good line to a patriot, apparently. I've been working on this for a year. So we'll see. So yesterday I spent all day just chilling and looking through Ancestry.com. Hi, Marie. So that's what I did. And then today I spent all day working on some projects. I just finished a really good project. You want a sneak peek for those of you who are on? This is going to be my YouTube hop video for Sunday. It is a fan card. So sneak peek. This video is coming out on Sunday. Just finished that right before the live here. So, okay, let's get started on what we're going to do today. We are going to be making these Valentines or something similar to these. These are just my samples, so I will probably use those as a guide, but there's so many things we could do. And they're so easy. So these are perfect for people who might not have a bunch of stamps or inks or don't like to stamp those sorts of things, because almost everything on here, and you could do everything without stamping. I did stamp here, but just because I wanted to. And again, I stamped here, but just because I wanted to. There are other things I could have put here. So this is perfect for those of you who don't have any stamps. So let me show you what I used. Let me get these a little bit out of the way. I used it's called Love Notes. Yeah, Love Notes, and it's 6x6 paper. And I want to show you how special this paper is, because it's you can like cut apart the pieces or whatever and make your Valentines. So, and there's some special things. They're also made in such a way that they don't have to be Valentines. So we will talk about that as we go along. But let me show you some of the paper. You do get, let's see how many there are. Let's see. There's this paper with these 4 squares, and they are 3x3 squares. We just click your extra special, to and from, something sweet for someone neat, and happy Valentine's Day. And then on the back is basically the same images, but without the words. So again, that doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It could be, a wedding, or it could be, here's a gift card for a Starbucks or something like that. Love you more. You're amazing. These hearts, be my Valentine. Oh, that's so funny, because I looked and looked for this, this stamp. Because when I was getting my stuff together, I usually try to collect the things I made with my sample. And I was like, what in the world stamp did I use here? And I could not find it. But that's the reason I couldn't find it, is because it's part of the paper. So that is not stamped. This is my favorite, Love You More. And then some to and froms. Again, these ones don't have any words, so you can use them in a lot of different ways. This little red balloon. And actually, I just saw a video today about the song 99 Red Balloons and how they wrote that. Like, what was the inspiration for that? It was really, really interesting video. Okay, so this is like a card front. Happy Valentine's Day and love. And then the back is more just overall paper. This one, another card front. Sending hugs, happy heart day. And then on the back, another, card front. Some hearts and these little lines. Okay, now these ones are just paper. I love this one. I love this paper here. And then this would be nice, I think, even for Easter. Actually, both of these would be nice for Easter. So if you order and think you won't get it in time, I was wondering if this would be good for Easter. Maybe we could put little Easter bunnies in the kind of in the grass. You could use some of it for Easter too. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 designs, and I think you get 48. Let me see. I've got these on here. Does it say? Yeah, 48. So you get 8 sheets of each one. So really, you get a lot of bang for your buck with these. And so what I did is I just took these and I just, put some of these ideas together. So I thought we'd make a few. Make a few until, our time is up. So here I did put an embossing folder. So we'll see how those things are. I like this one, Happy Valentine's Day. So you let me know. I'll go through these. You guys pick the ones you want me to start with, and then we'll go from there. So I like this one. I did add this. This is from the, these are called Lovely Doilies. So I did add that. You don't have to, but I did add that. So there's one. Lots of love. I like this one. It's different, right? It's purple, which I think is really kind of fun. Okay, Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Heart Day. Again, these are all parts of the paper, so I didn't have to stamp any of these. This is my favorite. Love You More. This one is really fun, like swirly hearts, and then I put the 99 red balloons in there. We Just Click. This is really cute. Again, this is Valentine's, but it doesn't have to be. You're Amazing. Again, a kind of a non-traditional color scheme, and I did add the purple here because of the purple in the flowers, so that's fun. And then this one, or any of the other things that I didn't use that you saw. So which one should I start with? Oh, also, I did make this to show you. This is one of the little baggies. And I just made like a little treat bag with this because there are some things you can see to and from. So I wanted to show you that you could use it for a little treat bag. I thought maybe Ellie could use these like for her teachers, you know. Okay, if nobody has an opinion, I will start with my favorite, I guess. I'll start with this one. Let me drop the link to the love notes first. Okay, there's the link to the paper pack, and it is still available. I checked before I went live. So I'm going to take, I'm going to do green. Let's see, do I have green? I did bring some paper out here. Here we go. And let's cut this in half at 5.5. We'll make 2 card bases out of this. So maybe I'll do the 2 green ones. This is, I think, garden green. Let me look at the colors on the back. I'll tell you what the colors are. It says Azure Afternoon, Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Gorgeous Grape, Real Red, and Black. Okay, so I cut this in half and I will cut it this way. Okay, so here's my card base. And I used, for this one, let's find that paper. Here, I used this paper. And you can see I kind of just used it as is. So this piece is 4 by 5.25. However, I felt that this was a little bit too wide of the pink part. So I made this 1.5. So let's see. So it's 1 3/4. So I cut a 1/4 inch off of that. So let me do that. I thought it was a little bit more balanced. So let's cut a 1/4 inch. You could just leave it if you want. Okay, so then let's cut this at 4 inches. So this is nice that I don't have to piece it together. It's already pieced. I'm gonna save this because I might want to use it. And you get 8 pieces of each of these. So like I kind of feel bad that I, cutting into these, but I have more that we can use. So okay, let's put this down on the card base. I want to show you how quickly these come together. Okay, and then I used the Love You More piece. So I used this. Like I said, if you don't want it to say Love You More, you could use this piece here that doesn't have the words. So it's up to you. Okay. I will use that. So again, these are just cut apart pieces, and I did use that. Use this one, so we'll make sure we keep that. And then this paper underneath is another piece that's 3 by 3. You could mat it, like make a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I kind of did it like this, where it's askew. So let's cut this 3 by 3. I got some white, basic white. Truthfully, I think this might be basic white thick, because that's what I used in my project I was working on right before the live, so it's just sitting here. Okay, so I did put dimensionals under the white. Okay. Okay, and so I'm not going to adhere it yet, but I want to use it kind of as a guide. I want the white to be askew, and I want the Love You More piece to be straight. So you have to kind of think about that. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on this, but I'm not going all the way to the edge, because you know, some of it might be sticking out. So there we go. And then I did add some gems. Well, they're actually sequins. And these are called purple backed adhesive sequins, but these ones are more like opal. Oops. There we go. So let's put a couple of these on here. And then I did put one up here. And I'm using the ones that are more white, because the purples wouldn't go. The pink ones might have gone okay. Okay, so there's card 1. Look at that. That took me how long? Like 5 minutes? I don't know, to do this one. And then you would, you know, put the white on the inside. Let me get some white and I'll do that. I'll go ahead and do that now, because I'm going to be giving these to Ellie for her Valentine's too. So I'll send some. But I've made a lot of Valentines this year, so. Okay. Okay. I'll make the next green one, since I've already got the, and you could make actually these whatever color that you want, but okay, the other green one was this one. Okay, let's see. And this one, I don't know if you can tell, but I just used a strip of this, so probably I used what was left over here. And then I added these pieces, so let's go ahead and do that. This one. So fold. This is a piece that's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Well, it was 11 inches by 4 1/4. Oh, 8 1/2. 8.5 by 5.5. I got that totally wrong. 8.5 by 5.5. Okay. So this is going to be 5 1/4 inch tall. So let's cut this at 5 1/4. And I'm just trying to use up the scraps that I just cut, but okay. So let's put this down here. And I'm just going to put it so it's about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then I cut this piece, this Flirty Flamingo, 2.5 inches, you know, by 5 1/4. So let's see. I don't know that I have Flirty Flamingo out here, but I have this Pretty in Pink. I have Pretty in Pink. What did I say I cut that at? 2.5. Okay. Let's cut a piece that's 2.5 by 5 1/4. Let me make sure that this is going to look good with that Happy Heart Day. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Okay, and I did put it through an embossing folder because I just thought that it looked a little bit plain, but you could just make it plain. Let me see, what did I do with the embossing folder? Here it is. This one's called Soft Waves. I wonder if this one's still available. Yeah, see, it's fast. This is a fast way. And, you know, if you've got kids, how in the world do I open this up? If you've got kids that need a lot of Valentines and you insist on making them. Oh, I see, because I took off the top. This is a great way to get them done. Okay, and I wanted the waves to kind of go this way. You know, kind of landscape. So let's get my stamp cut and emboss machine out. And this is two-toned. So I want it to be on the darker side. So let's think about this for a second. Okay. What did I say? I wanted it to go this way. So we're going to put it like this. This is the emboss side. So I've got to take, since it's the embossing folder, let's see. The sandwich for the embossing folder is the base, the embossing folder with the paper, and then this special plate number 4. This is the only one I think that I added something like this. So good. I love this embossing folder. I won't try and put that in there. Okay, then we're just going to adhere this here, and it is going to overlap a little bit on top of here. And I am going to add a little more adhesive than I normally would. And you know, I usually add a lot of adhesive, but that's because this embossing folder, you know, it's kind of bumpy. And so you want to make sure that it sticks to your card. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I've got enough edge around here that it's the same. And then we want something to go right there. like here. So let's see what I have. That's not long enough. Let me get a piece of red. Okay, I've got some real red here. And I'm going to cut this, I think that's 1/2 inch. Yeah, 1/2 inch. And then 5 1/4. And the good thing about these cards so far is a lot of this stuff is just kind of what I've got laying around, plus the paper from the love notes. Okay, I'm going to butt this up against the pink. There we go. So it sits on top of this one. Perfect. Okay, so I have Happy Heart Day. You're amazing. Let's find the Happy Heart Day. Okay, here's the Happy Heart Day. So let's put that on there. Just need to cut those. These have got some really fun sayings. Or you could just put the hearts there if you want. Again, there's no set thing that you're doing. This is just kind of, I just sat down and played, you know, put it together. Okay, I am going to pop this up a little bit with the dimensionals. Okay. And then I'm going to put it about 1 inch down, I'd say. Okay, now let's add some of those gems. Which I just had. Here they are. I really do have a kind of a crafter math over here. And this time I'll use these ones. They're a little bit more pink. And I usually like to do it in groups of 3. So there we go. So there's another card. Card 2 down. Yes, you're right. Emboss pieces do require, actually, I would say they require Eleanor level, because I even was like, Ellie, that's enough adhesive. And so you know that's pretty bad. Okay. Let's see which one. Let's do the different ones. Let's do these purple ones because they're a little bit different. Actually, I'm going to make both of these purple because I didn't have enough purple to do both of these. Or maybe I thought that I wanted to do that one blue. So let's start with this one because it's a little bit different. I have purple. Here we go. This is the, what did I say, Gorgeous Grape? Make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, Gorgeous Grape. Let's cut this in half at 5.5 on the 11-inch side. There we go. And the reason I wanted to do this one is because, again, it's kind of a different, different color than normal, which I think is kind of fun. Okay. So let's do this one. So here is the cup with the heart. And then there's this one that says your extra special with the to and the from. So I really like that saying. However, I didn't want the to and the from. So I'm going to use this side. So let's cut this. And again, these are, 3 by 3s. And then so to make it fit across, I put this piece here, and that piece is about 1 3/4 of an inch. And let's see if I used that paper, right? Let's see. I could use this, but that's too purple. I wanted to use some of the pink. Let's see, what else do I got here? I could just use this. Why don't we do that one? Since I can emboss this one too. So what did I say it was? 1 3/4? So 1 3/4 by 3. So let's cut that. First I'll cut this 3 inches. And then 1 3/4. Okay, let's run this through the embossing machine. We don't really need to, but why not? These are so easy that it's easy to take the time to do this. Okay, here's the embossing folder again. I could have cut up another piece of that, the one with the netting look, but this is just as easy, and I had that scrap piece of Flirty Flamingo. Like I said, this is just fun free-for-all. Okay, so now, and the reason I wanted to have some of the pink is to bring out the pink in that. Okay, so now let's stick this down. Let's line it up so that it's kind of even on the left and the right and the top and the bottom. I left it's about a 1/4 inch on each side. Okay, and then this one, love it. Okay, and then we want to find the piece that says Happy Valentine's Day on these. Huh. Let's see what that's on. Where are those? Did you guys see it? I know it's on here because I did it. Huh, that's so strange. I don't see that, and I know that it's from here. Well, we'll just pick something else. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. It's like, I know it's on here somewhere. Okay. Phew. We could have put something else. We could have put this love. That would have been fun too. And I did pop this one up. With the dimensionals. There we go. I don't know where these are the mini dimensionals. The other ones are in my pile of stuff over here. Okay. And then I just kind of put it like that. And then let's add some sparkles. Can't have too many sparkles. Which ones do we want? Let's do these ones that got a little bit of a purple hue to it. Okay, there's card number 2. No, 3. Card number 3. Look at us going. Oh, I want to put the white on the inside. I don't think I did that on these ones, right? No. I did it on that one. Okay, so let's cut 2. And let's see, I've got one here. 4 by 5 1/4. I just got a stack of these here that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I want them to be a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. And you put these on since you use the, you know, the darker color card bases. So, okay, there's one there. And then I'll stamp something on the inside of these. For most of them, I'll stamp Happy Valentine's Day, but on this one, I'll do something else. Since it already says Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. So card 3. So pretty. And now let's do this one. Okay. Here's the blue that I had sitting out. So let's cut this 4 by 5 1/4. Even though I'm going to put it on purple, I'm going to keep the blue. See how that looks. Okay, put it on here. This is my half a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I should do this because Michelle loves the purple and the red. I was thinking about sending, there is one that's, well, this is kind of purple and red. Maybe I'll send this one to Michelle. Okay, and then I use this piece. So this one is plain. This one says Be Mine. So I'll just use the plain one. And then see if I have any of the purple. Because this piece is, you know, it's 3 inches, but 2 inches. So 2 inches by 3 inches. Let's see what we've got. I thought there was, yeah, there's a piece here. Okay. Let's cut this 3 inches by 2 inches. Okay, and now let's put this together like so. And actually, I think it looks really good with that purple in the back, purple backing. So these I'm putting right down onto the card front. There we go, trying to center it. And I use this little purple piece to, again, tie in the purples here. And then this one, the purple, you know, card base. And then to tie in the red, I use the You're Amazing. Okay, here's the You're Amazing. There's so many little pieces to use. It's perfect. And so then I did pop this up. Here's some dimensionals. This other side's cute too. It's got the lines and you can write something there if you want to. I found the regular size dimensionals here. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm going to kind of make it have, you know, equal the bottom and the side showing. It does cover up the wreath a little bit. And okay, so that's, add some sparkles. Let's do the white ones again. Just to change it up. Here we go. Now let's do the inside. This one here is your favorite? Or the one before? I don't think it was, I think it's since I have a delay, but I still think it's been since I've been doing this, the blue and the purple. I do love that these are somewhat, some of them are kind of the non-traditional colors. And I also like the sentiment, because if you're sending these to friends, you know, You're Amazing is a great sentiment. So let's put these on the inside. So I think that was card number 4. We're doing pretty good. Okay, let's do the 2 that had the pink backgrounds. The pink I have is, this is, I don't know what color this is. It's not flamingo. Let's do the red ones. Let's do the red ones next. And then I'm going to see if I have another piece of Flirty Flamingo. Okay. So this is real red. I think here I used what's that red, the deeper red? I'll have to think about the name of it. I want to say cranberry, but it's not cranberry. Okay, let's cut this down to 5.5. And then fold it in half. Hi, Kim. Happy Valentine's Day. Have you been working on Valentine's? Okay, so now for this one, we are going to use that paper that's got the, this one, right? It's got the blue plaid on one side and this one. So let's cut this 4 by 5.25. Okay. Okay, and then we just click. Let's find that. There we go. So it's the one, I mean, you can do it without the words or with the words. So I like to have some kind of sentiment on the front. And since we're trying to make it where we don't have to stamp anything. And then I did matte this totally in white. Let's see, I've got some right here. So let's do this 3.25 by 3.25. Okay. Okay, let's put this onto the white. Oh, so this is your favorite red, the real red. Yeah, this is real red. I think my favorite is this one. It's gonna drive me nuts that I can't think of it. Oh, cherry cobbler. So you can see the difference between the two. This is definitely more of a like a cranberry, whatever. Real red is like a nice true red. Okay, and then I will pop this up. Now this one is super easy card. Right? We'll just put like a card base down. Use these squares. Okay, pop it up a little bit. I know who I'm going to send this to. Okay, and then let's add a little bit of sparkle, some gems. Okay, Nice set of 3. Now you can see there's a lot of these squares. You know, here I try to make it stretch out by putting this extra piece here, the 2" by 3". But here I just let it be the, you know, the center of this card with a nice decorative background. So I think it can work, you know, either way. Let's put a piece of white inside so it's ready to stamp. Trying to think about how many Valentines I made so far. I did the One Sheet Wonder, and that was like 8 Valentines, and I did it twice, so 16. I gave those to Ellie. I made 12 bear ones for Monroe, and we decided we're going to put a little pack of Teddy Grahams with it. Okay, so here's this card. And then this one, I think there were 8, so I'm going to do another 16. And then last week we did the, did you guys see the Victorian puzzle purse Valentines? These were from, I think, last week. So I've been making a lot of Valentines. Oh my gosh, what did I do? I shouldn't have taken this apart because now I messed it up. There we go. They're just sitting here. I was trying to count how many I did. So there's 3 of these. Whatever, that's a lot. So 16, 32, 42. I probably made 50 Valentines so far. Okay. Let's do this one. This time I'm using the Real Red. I used the Cherry Cobbler there. Okay, now this one, I wanted to use this piece here. Let me find that. Okay, so here, I wanted to use this piece, and I cut it to, it's almost 3 inches. So let's see, let's cut this 3 inches. So it's 3 inches by 4 1/4. Now, when I put this down, I thought it needed a little bit something extra. So that's when I pulled out these doilies because I had some left. And I thought it just gave it a little bit of something in the background. So I'm going to use the smaller size. And these are Bubble Bath and Real Red. So I don't want to use the Real Red because I'm using Real Red background. Let me see, I've got a comment here. Oh, you have a guess who's getting the camera card? Okay. Hey, and sneak peek, there is a camera stamp set coming out in the March online exclusives. This is my last roll of this, so it's got to last me through this live. So yeah, there's a new stamp set that's coming out with cameras on it, some film strip, so it should be pretty cute. I don't like where I put that. Let me pull that up here. what I want is I want the top corner here and the bottom corner here to be within the doily. So that one's really cute. I haven't got it yet, but I will probably later. Oh, that reminds me. Let me put this down. I just placed an order earlier. This afternoon of the new stamp positioner. So I am getting the new stamp positioner. Okay, now this one, I did stamp this, okay? This is, this was from the Paper Pumpkin Valentines, I think. Let's see what I've got here. I think I've got one of those. So I am getting the new stamp positioner. Here we go. I think it's this one. Oh, this will work. So ordered that, and then I ordered the Easter suite called Easter Joy with the bunnies and that and the basket. Oh, the basket dies are so amazing. You can cut the basket dies in different colors and weave it into the basket, so it's you know, like different colors in the basket. So I'm really excited about that. So I don't remember where the Lots of Love stamp set came from, but I have this one from the Paper Pumpkin last week, and it says Happy Valentine's. So let's do this one. So I just ordered that today, so I should get the stamp positioner. I don't know if you saw my post, but I haven't posted a lot about it until I get it. But it is a join special. You get it for free. You get the stamp positioner for free. But current consultants could only order, and tomorrow's the last day that you can order. So there's only like a couple weeks that we were able to order. And then we won't be able to order during that period. And then it's not supposed to go live to the public for several months. I'm thinking, I don't know, this is my interpretation, is maybe it'll be in the new catalog, is my thoughts. That's just what makes sense to me. But, so I only had until tomorrow to order it. So I did it. I have seen some people demo it, and looks good. I do have the Misty. I think this is actually going to be better than my Misty because you can do 12 by 12 paper with it. So I'm looking forward to that, to trying it out at least. Okay, so let's pop this up. And you have until tomorrow to get your bonus bucks. And then starting the 3rd, I think we can spend them. So, okay, I'm going to put this right there. And let's add some gems. Okay, and then we just have 2 more cards. I think we're doing pretty good. Put a couple of gems here. I think I'll just use that pink that I have. There we go. Oh, and I want to put the white on the inside. So have you guys seen the ad for the new stamp positioner? There's I think I posted the announcement and I posted the tutorial. But I'll post more about it. I think I'll do a live when I get it while I'm playing with it and testing it out. Okay, so that's 6 cards. 2 more. These, and actually these ones are pretty easy. So the pink that I have is, I like this side. 12 by 12, so let's cut it down to 8.5 by 11. And then we'll cut it into halves. 8.5 by 11. Okay, so cut it down at 5.5. And like I said, we could continue. We can go on and on and on making these cards. These are just the samples that I made just to show you how easy these cards are. And you could get as fancy or as not fancy as you want. Like I said, you could add things like the doilies. You could stamp. I embossed a couple things. Or you could just make it simple like this. So let's do this one. And find, here you go. I think I cut this one already. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so I cut this. It's a little bit bigger than 4 by 5.25. Yeah, so this is 4.25 by 6. So I'm gonna take an 1/8 of an inch off of each side so that it's symmetric for the 4, because it was a 1/4 inch too big. And then it's 6, so I need to take off 3/4 of an inch if I want to make it 5.25. So 3/4. 3/4 is 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8. So let's do 3/8. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. That's the chemist in me, right? Let's hope that's right. Yeah, it looks right. So that should be 5.25. Perfect, 5.25. Actually, my upline just posted, maybe I'll post it. She made these printouts that has all of the measurements, like the 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and the 16ths and all of that on it. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll post that. Okay, that's finally happy Valentine's Day. I know this one's I'm going to use for my next one, so I'm going to keep that out. Okay, you know what I did this? I took it from here. So I did bring, let's see, I did bring some dies. Let's see if there are any dies that fit that. Otherwise, I'll just cut it. That's not wide enough. Actually, I think I used this one on Be My Valentine. So I'll just cut this one, which is what I did here. So you could still probably cut out that heart. And the reason I did this is, again, I was trying to make it so that I didn't have to show you, you don't have to stamp things. You can cut these. You can cut these off if you want. There's enough sentiments that you could do it without stamping. So I should have tagged Judy because I think Judy would like to do these. Because I know she's not a big actual stamper. Okay. I think I'm only going to put those two on there. Look at me. Didn't put one in the middle. Put that right there. This is a super easy card. Okay, and then for this one, I will use the more pink. Let's see. I've had these purple sequins for a while, and I've used them a lot. I feel like they've lasted a long time. Okay, let's just put the inside. Did you watch the official video on it? Yeah. I saw a demo. My upline got it, and she stamped across her 12 by 12 page. She made a really pretty like design across it, and I wasn't sure that it'd be able to work on a 12 by 12, but she showed how you can do it. And it's because it doesn't have the sides, you know, which limits, like my Misty, I can't use a 12 by 12 unless you do it like in the corner or something, because the side prevents you from kind of sliding your paper. So, okay, there's card 7, one more. Which is this one. Again, another easy one. And I want to use that side on the outside. Okay, this one I did a white background that's 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then this piece I cut 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's this piece, back of the purple. And I did kind of fussy cut it a little bit because I wanted it to be around this swirly part, but let's just do 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and this one I put right down on the white. It's adhesive. And I'm just centering it on the white. Okay, and then I took the balloon and I wanted to flag it, you know, so I did kind of cut here, and there's not a lot of room because the string comes down, but okay, now this I did pop up on dimensionals. Anyway, I'll tell you about, I told you how I saw a video about the song 99 Red Balloons. Apparently, they were at a Rolling Stones concert, I think, in Germany. And this was during when they had East and West Germany. And at the end of the show, okay, I'm going to put this right up here. At the end of the show, the Rolling Stones released balloons into the air. Okay, so to cut this, you could just put it like this. It's too big, so you could just cut around it. But I found that this die from the Perfectly Pairs went right over that perfectly. So let's cut that. So anyway, the Rolling Stones released these balloons into the sky, and the band, somebody in the band said, what if in East Germany they take this as a, you know, they misunderstand what it is and they think it's some kind of, you know, like, not bombs or whatever, but, you know, some missiles or something like that, and it causes a war. And that's what that song is about. And apparently it's more obvious in the German than it is in the English version of it, but yeah, I think you're right, Julie. I think that it can do stuff that the others can't do. Like, they each have their purpose. So I'm excited to try it. I wasn't going to. I really wasn't going to. Because I was like, I've got a stamping platform. But when I saw it being used, I thought, I can see times when I would want to use this. So, okay. And so then I am going to pop this one up too. Let's use the mini dimensionals for this one. And on this card, I chose not to put any gems because I felt like all the hearts already were adding a lot. You know, so already a lot going on, so. Okay. Let's cut a white from the inside, and then I think we're done. Look, we made 8 cards in that short amount of time, and there's still pieces that we haven't used. I'll show the paper again. Okay, there we go. So here's our 8. And then remember, I did use these one. This one I felt was perfect for a treat bag, something sweet for someone neat. So I felt that one really was good for a treat basket. And all I did here is I just punched 2 holes with my hole punch and then I threaded the ribbon through it this way from the front, and then took the legs from this side and pulled it through this way, and then the leg from that side and pulled it through this way. So let's see if we can find all 6 pieces of this. So there's this side. We used this, we used that, we used those. We didn't use these 2, but we did use the back of this one, and I used that on my bag, I think. So that's one paper. Again, you get 8 copies of each of these. Okay, I didn't use this, but I did use the Happy Heart Day. Sending hugs is nice too. I did use this. So that's paper 2. This is paper 3. This one's cute, and what I like about this one is it has the words on one side, and then the other side it's just plain. So we use this one and this one, and then we use this, and then I did use this on that bag. So I used all of this paper. Let's see, we talked about that one and that one. This one, I used this. I did use that paper. And then I used these two. I didn't use the love. So that one I didn't use. And then these ones I did use. I used this side and then I used this a little bit. I think that was all of them. So, I mean, I tried to make these cards to show you, you know, how to use all of, not all of the paper, but most of the paper. Okay, there's that one, that one. This is what we've made today. Oh, kind of crooked there. Okay, then we just click. You're amazing. Happy Valentine's Day. The Happy Heart Day. And the Love You More. So these are the 8 cards that we made. Next week, we're making a scrapbook layout. Next week, we're going to be making this scrapbook layout. Did I get it in this thing? This is the layout that we're going to be making using the square snippets paper. Such fun paper. So this is what we're going to be making next week. Okay. Well, thanks for joining. Hope to see you next week for the scrapbook layout. Also keep an eye out for my YouTube hop video where I made this card. So all the instructions will be in the video. It's going to drop on Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. And then when I get the stamping platform, I will do a live. I probably won't get that this week since I just ordered it today. So it'll probably be the next week. Okay, well, thanks for joining. I will see you guys next week. Bye.